Good morning. I have Dana today and Honey, the Great Pyrenees, and once again, Jagger. So what I wanted to talk today about is depersonalization, derealization disorder. And I have a section in my book, Contamination. Can you see that? Contamination to transformation. And it is something that happens to people that are traumatized as children. So if you haven't seen the other videos, this is about child sexual abuse that happened to me. And these videos are to help other people heal very, very quickly. It took me a long time. But what this is, it's a defense mechanism that I used as a child. When the abuse was happening, it's way too intense to endure. And so it's an out-of-body experience. I would leave and see what was happening from the corner of the room up by the ceiling. And it's what you have to do to survive. It's a God-given miracle as far as I'm concerned. So I forgot the first 10 years of my life when the abuse was happening, when I was being touched. And I remembered the next 8 years living at home with my parents. But the first time that I remember this happening to me, this disorder, was being in a car at night, riding with my boyfriend. And I sat there, it was dark, he was driving, and this fog came over me. And it was a dreamlike state where I said to myself over and over, is this a dream or is it real? Is it a dream? Is it real? Like 100 times. And I was just kind of stuck in this dilemma of not knowing what was happening to me. And then it just kind of faded away. And this would happen so many times. It was mainly at night. It was mainly when other people were around me, but I never knew when it was coming or what it was. It felt really crazy, really. And when I got into treatment with Dr. Nash, I told him about this, and I was very embarrassed telling him. And he said, oh, yeah, that's depersonalization, derealization. And he always had an answer for any problem that I had. He says, okay, this is what you do. And he said, when you feel it coming on, just take your ring and just spin it in your hand. Just spin it. And he says, or else take a picture out of your purse, a picture of you and your family, and just look at it. He said, if that doesn't work, start adding. 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. That's what always worked for me. It's like you're switching to the other side of your brain from where this experience is located. And it wasn't something that I just worried about, but when it happened to me, it was frightening. Because you feel like you're just kind of locked into this fog, and you know that it's going to end, but you don't have any control over it. And so the first year with Dr. Nash, I was learning all these tools of what to do when all these different after effects would happen to me. And in the second year, we talked about the abuse. because the memories had now come. And when he asked me questions about mom doing this or dad doing that, and we would discuss it, this depersonalization, derealization would come on me. And I would see myself talking to Dr. Nash from the corner of the room. And he told me, whenever it happens, just tell him. So I would say, okay, it's happening now. It's happening now. And he says, okay, all right, turn your ring, start adding and subtracting, take some diaphragmatic breaths, and we'll just kind of step away from this subject for a while. And then I would come out of it. And this happened repeatedly during that second year, because we were talking about the core issue of what had happened to me as a child. And my body needed to deal with all of this so that I could move on and live a good, happy, joyful life. It's important to embrace the problem, and with somebody that is looking out for you and helping you. Drugs and alcohol, they're not the solution, but so many times that's where people go. But it's looking at the problem with a good counselor, and mostly turning to God and just saying, okay, you're the almighty counselor that's going to help me get through this. And for that whole year, we dealt with all the different after effects, one after another after another. A good book for you to look at is my second one, Contamination to Transformation, because I really go into all the after effects, especially PTSD. Even now, if you put me in a room, let's say church, where there's a lot of people that know me, my safest place is next to the wall, so nobody can get behind me. Because in my mind, with the PTSD, it's like you have to be vigilant to look at every single person that could possibly hurt me. That's the main issue that I still have, and that's okay, because I know what it is. I know what I'm dealing with. God hasn't chosen to remove that particular item yet. And maybe it'll be in heaven. Maybe that's where it will go away. But it isn't with people that I don't know. If I'm in a room of people that I don't know, it's not that bad. Because when I grew up, it was people that I did know that hurt me. And so, no matter what you're dealing with, there's treatment and there's help and there's joy and peace and love that'll go with it. Just don't run away from it. Just be vigilant and keep moving. Whatever you're afraid of, just moving towards it. Just towards it, towards it, towards it. Don't back up. Don't turn away. Just advance on the enemy of fear. And you're going to be okay. Look for a Christian counselor. Dr. Nash, he specialized in cognitive behavioral therapy. It works with your thoughts, your present day thoughts, and it doesn't so much go back into your history. It deals with what you're thinking now and correcting your maladaptive thoughts, which are thoughts like, I'm never going to get better. It's always going to be awful. Those are the kind of thoughts that you learn to catch and correct and say, I used to think that things were never going to get better. But today and in the future, I'm going to figure it all out and it's going to be fine. So you're correcting all those thoughts that are damaging to you. We're going to talk more about that because it's powerful. And a lot of that is Bible-based also. So I hope you have a great day, and I hope you turn to God, accept Him, invite Him into your heart, and I hope that you will like and subscribe. Tell your friends. 1 out of 3 are sexually abused. So, God bless. Bye-bye.